Welcome to Theory of Pets. I'm a passionate pet owner with a drive to help others like me uncover the truth about the pet industry and what goes on behind the scenes. Hello and welcome back for another episode of Theory of Pets. Thanks for tuning in today. Today I am speaking with Dr. Jennifer Adolphe, who works for Petcurean. She is their senior nutritionist. I have talked to her about many topics in the past. She's always a wonderful guest to have. She is a wealth of knowledge, and I really appreciate that she comes on and shares her valuable information with all of us. Today I wanted to talk to her about skin allergies. It's something that I am quite often asked about. It seems like it's becoming more and more common. A lot of people ask what can cause skin allergies, what can they do to help dogs with skin allergies, or even just sensitive skin, dry skin, things like that. Nutrition plays a key role, as with any body function, in the health and well-being of your dog's skin and coat. And a lot of people don't realize that. They think usually about grooming products first, what they can use to moisturize the skin, to make the coat healthier and shinier and more moisturized. But they don't realize that nutrition actually can play a big factor in your dog's skin and health. So thankfully for us, Dr. Adolphe is here today to discuss that topic with us. So today we're talking about how a pet's diet can affect their skin and coat. Can you tell us a little bit about that, how their diet does affect skin and coat issues and skin and coat health?
Yeah, for sure. So proper nutrition definitely helps to ensure that the health and appearance and beauty of a pet's skin and coat is maintained. So if you think about what the skin is, it's really a barrier to the outside world, and it's actually one of the body's largest organs. And we don't often really think of it as an organ, but like all organs in our body, nutrition is essential to maintaining overall health. And so the skin protects all of the internal organs, the bones and muscles. It provides sensory information. It's actually part of the immune system to keep the pet healthy and safe. And then the fur also acts as a barrier, and it protects the skin. It helps to maintain body temperature and contributes to the overall appearance of the pet. So of course we want to have proper nutrition to maintain a healthy skin and coat. And so some of the nutrients that are key in maintaining healthy skin and coat are omega-6 and omega-3 fatty acids, protein and amino acids, as well as some key vitamins and minerals, including vitamin A, vitamin E, and zinc.
And speaking of those nutrients, usually it's not the nutrients necessarily that's listed on the dog food packaging. So what would some of the ingredients of that pet owners should be looking for when they're shopping if they're concerned about their dog's skin and coat condition?
Yeah, of course. It's the nutrients that the animal needs to be healthy, but it's the ingredients that deliver those nutrients. And like you said, when you look at the pet food package, you read the ingredient list. And so as a nutritionist, I need to know what those ingredients provide, what nutrients those ingredients provide to the food. So one of the first things to look for is to look for, I recommend whole food ingredients. And the reason for this is because these ingredients provide not only the essential nutrients that the animal needs, but other nutrients such as antioxidants and what are called phytonutrients, which are other compounds that come from plant-based ingredients. So, as I mentioned, fats are a very important part of a balanced diet for dogs and play a key role in the health of skin and coat. And for most dogs, a diet that provides about 12 to 18% fat on a dry matter basis is what's typically recommended for health and maintenance. And so there's what they're called essential fatty acids, and these are components in the fats that the body needs in order to maintain health. So you've probably heard about omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids, and including both of these in your pet's diet are important So omega-6 fatty acid, an example of that is linoleic acid. And dietary sources of this essential fatty acid includes fats such as chicken fat or canola oil. Another fatty acid that's also an omega-6 fatty acid that's essential for cats is arachidonic acid, and it's found in fats from animals and fish such as chicken, lamb, and salmon. Now, one of the other essential types of fatty acids, the omega-3 fatty acids, are also super important. And it hasn't really been appreciated until recently how important omega-3 fatty acids really are for pets. And so alpha-linolenic acid is a essential fatty acid for dogs and cats that's mostly found in plant-based fats and oils such as flaxseed or canola oil. Now, these are big words. Icosapentaenoic acid, or EPA, and docosahexaenoic acid, or DHA, are also essential omega-3 fatty acids, and they're found in more marine-based fats, such as salmon or salmon oil, or they are also sometimes found in algae extracts or algae oils. So it's important to have a balance of those fatty acids. And we have a great article on our website at Petcurean.com, and the article is called Essential Fatty Acids in Pet Foods. So if people are interested, they can go to the website to learn more. Some other nutrients that are critical is protein, and it's not the protein per se that's essential, but it's the amino acids that are the building blocks of that protein. And the dogs and cats need the essential amino acids from the protein to make up the fur and the skin. And these amino acids are the building blocks to create healthy skin and coat. Last but not least are the vitamins and minerals. I mentioned specifically vitamin A, vitamin E, and zinc are key in maintaining healthy skin. And vitamin and mineral supplementation is typically used in pet foods to ensure that the correct balance and the correct amount of these vitamins and minerals are included. And they act as kind of an insurance policy, a nutrition insurance policy, to make sure that the pet food contains all of the essential vitamins and minerals that are required. So as you can see, it's a whole long list, and it's a bit complicated, but really a complete and balanced diet should provide all of the essential nutrients that a pet needs to maintain a healthy skin and coat.
Absolutely, and I think it's important that you point out that commercial products are made to provide that balance, because I get a lot of questions from pet parents, especially when we're talking about ingredients, and they think, well, I could just add these ingredients at home and create a diet for my dog that provides these, but what they don't realize is that making homemade dog food is great, but it's really a lot of work, and it's very time consuming to find that balance and make sure that you're meeting it for your dog's sake.
Yeah, for sure. It takes it's actually quite complex to create a pet food formulation that contains all of the nutrients that a pet needs, and you're right. It takes a lot of time and effort to do that at home.
Yeah, so it's important for anybody listening to know that while we're talking about all those beneficial ingredients, it's not just about mixing them all together and feeding them to your dog. There's more to it than just that.
That's right, and creating the right balance of those nutrients is also critically important so that you don't get nutrient imbalances, too much or too little of a particular nutrient.
Absolutely. And when we're talking about skin and coat health, one of the biggest questions always comes up is food allergies. People are finding, their dogs are becoming allergic. It's much more common now. There's a lot of talk about food allergies. So what are some signs of food allergies that pet parents should be looking for if that's a concern they have?
One of the challenges challenges with identifying food allergies specifically is that the signs and symptoms also overlap with a lot of other conditions like environmental allergies or flea allergies, which are actually a lot more common than food allergies. But one of the some of the symptoms to look for if your pet may be starting to experience some kind of allergic or food sensitivity reaction is itchy skin, irritated eyes, frequent ear infections, chronic vomiting, or diarrhea, or excessive paw licking could be a symptom of an adverse food reaction and something that you should have investigated with your veterinarian.
Excellent. Yeah, that is very important. A lot of people think they can try to maybe figure out the food allergy issue on their own just by changing diets, but that can get a little bit dangerous when you're talking about nutritional balance. So it's important to really seek the help of an expert. If pet owners are concerned, they've spoken to their vet, their dog has skin conditions that are affected by food, what are some ingredients that they should try to avoid in their pet's diet?
Right. It's really hard to know for sure which ingredient or ingredients to avoid. It's really specific to the individual pet. Something to remember is that most food allergens are proteins, so it's the protein-containing ingredients that are likely the ingredients to consider first. And that it can really be take some time and effort and some trial and error to figure out which ingredients are the problem. And so that's why it's important to have a professional do the diet history with you and then figure out the plan to identify which ingredients may be problematic. And there's several options available from a commercial pet food perspective to help pet parents with this, including limited ingredient diets, which contain novel ingredients that your pet may not have been exposed to previously, and that they thus then wouldn't be reactive to. There's also hydrolyzed protein diets, and sometimes doing a homemade cooked elimination diet is really the key in identifying how to treat the adverse food reaction and figuring out a plan.
And we talked a little bit about ingredients, and obviously you don't want to just kind of throw those together to make a homemade diet, but there are rumors that float out there. The one that I hear most often is adding a raw egg to your pet's diet once a week to help aid in skin and coat health. Are there any human foods that can benefit a pet's diet to add some benefits for skin and coat, or should pet owners stay away from adding those human foods?
My recommendation is to not include human foods in large quantities because a pet food is complete and balanced and it's meant to be fed in the amount that it's formulated to contain. And if you start adding a lot of other foods to that mix, you can end up with an imbalanced diet. So a general rule of thumb is to keep human food and treats to a maximum of 10% of their pet's total calorie requirements. And again, to speak with your vet before supplementing, just to make sure you're not potentially doing more harm than good by adding a supplement. Raw eggs are an interesting topic that you brought up. They're not recommended, and that's for two main reasons. One is that uncooked eggs can be a way to transmit pathogenic bacteria like salmonella, which does have the potential to be harmful to yourself, your family, and your pet. The other issue is that raw egg whites contain a component called avidin, which binds biotin, and biotin is a essential B vitamin, and so the avidin prevents the biotin from being absorbed by the body. So feeding cooked egg to your pet once in a while is a treat. I know my own dogs love that. I think that's fine, but again, just watch the amount that you feed because those are extra calories that can add up quickly, especially in a small pet, and contribute to obesity. But they're nice. It's always nice to feed our pets a little bit something special that they really enjoy.
Sure, and we focused a lot on diet today, but do you have any other tips, food or non-food related, for keeping a pet's skin and coat healthy?
For sure. A regular grooming schedule is absolutely essential to keeping your pet's skin and coat healthy. Depending on the breed of dog that you have, they might have different grooming requirements. Dogs and cats typically don't need to be bathed and shampooed too frequently, and actually over shampooing can be problematic and kind of strip their skin of the natural oils. But regular grooming, daily brushing really goes a long way to keeping their skin and coat healthy, preventing tangles and removing the dead hair. I don't know about you, but I can't imagine going more than a day without brushing my own hair and getting that matted mess under control. And it's the same for our pets. If they have matted fur, it can irritate their skin and be really uncomfortable. So it does take a couple minutes a day, and it's a really great way to keep your pet's skin and coat healthy.
Thank you again so much for your time today. Are there any last tips that you have for pet owners who are concerned about their dog's skin and coat health?
When you are choosing a pet food to maintain your pet's skin and coat health, and at Petcurean we actually just launched a new updated Go brand of food, our skin and coat solutions lineup. So when you are thinking about selecting a pet food, check and see that there is detailed nutrient information available, and think about a food or a brand that has readily available consumer support so that you can pick up the phone and ask any questions if you have questions about skin and coat health or any other questions, so that you can actually speak with someone who can answer your questions.
Sure, and I think that's really definitely important to point out for anybody, no matter what brand you're looking at. Petcurean is a great example, and there is a link below this podcast to their website. And if you get on, you'll see all the different varieties of food that they have. All the nutritional information is right there. It's not hidden. And of course, you have the opportunity to talk with nutritionists if you do have questions. And that's really important. No matter what brand you're choosing, you should be able to find that information. It shouldn't be something that you have to write an email or call the company to get that information. It should be readily there so that you can do your research and choose a brand that's going to be right for your pet.
Absolutely.
Just another big thank you to Jennifer Adolphe. Again, she is the senior nutritionist for Petcurean. If you have any questions about your dog's diet as it relates to skin and coat health, feel free to send me an email and I will try and get that answered for you. I can reach out to Dr. Adolphe if it's something that I don't know the answer to, and she will certainly help us as well. Of course, you can get on the Petcurean website. If you're listening to this podcast, just scroll to the bottom of the page underneath there is a link to the Petcurean site where you have access to speak to their nutritionist who can help you if you have questions about your dog's nutrition and any of their foods that they offer. And of course, as I mentioned, just do your research. Be sure you know about the food that you're feeding your dog before you decide to switch to that. Your veterinarian is a great resource. There are canine nutritionists and holistic veterinarians out there that are there to help you. So be sure to use those resources, and feel free to ask any questions. Also, while you're on the site, if you could just leave a quick review on iTunes, that would be really great. It's really beneficial when I'm reaching out to experts in the industry to get my questions answered, if I can show them that you guys are interested and looking for answers to the same questions as well. So I would appreciate any reviews that you could leave, and I appreciate you guys listening to this podcast.